Hello guys, this video is the continuation video of the last video where in the last video we did standard deviation under individual observation method and discrete. In this video I am doing the standard deviation under continuous series. Before getting into the problems, I want to clear 2 points under this method. If the question is silent under standard deviation problems, if the question is silent, you should think that you should take actual mean as a base. Otherwise, they will directly ask you to find out standard deviation under step deviation method. They will never ask you assumed mean. So this is not there. Now the formula for this is standard deviation is equals to root sigma f d dash square divided by n minus sigma f d dash divided by n the whole square into c. Here one thing you should remember is how do you identify d dash? See, first how do you identify d? It was x minus a, but now here they're asking you to identify d dash. So d dash formula is x minus a divided by c. X sometimes is also called as m because m is the mid value, which is also denoted as x. A is assumed mean, c is the width between the class intervals. So the formula for d dash is x minus a divided by c. Okay. The first question is find out the standard deviation. These two columns are the question and it is asked under continuous series. The first and the most column that I have to identify is the x column, or it is also called as m. M andre mid value. Okay, how do you identify? 5 plus 10 divided by 2 is 7.5. 10 plus 15 divided by 2 is 12.5. Similarly, you need to do the calculations and identify the mid value. Later, do the total of this frequency column, that is 110. Please ignore this calculations that was wrongly done. I've done it here again. Now the next column is identifying d dash. Formula is x minus a divided by c. So x here is this column whichever I have identified minus assumed mean. I've taken the first value as an assumed mean, that is 7.5, divided by c is the width between these two boundaries, that is 5 is the common difference between all the given observations. So 7.5, that is x, minus assumed mean 7.5 divided by 5, I get 0. The next is 12.5 minus 7.5 divided by 5. I'm getting 1. Similarly, you have to do the calculations for all the steps of this column. You're getting d dash. The next column is d dash square. Just identifying the square of these values, you are extracting d dash square. Immediate next column is f d dash square. So this f column into d dash square column, if you do it, you are getting this. That is 2 into 0 is 0. 9 into 1 is 1. 29 into 4 is 116. 54 into 9 is 468. 11 into 16 is 176. 5 into 25 is 125. Total this column you are getting 912. The last column is just multiplication of this f into d dash column, that is this column. These two columns should be multiplied and you have to write down it here. Why? Because that is asked in the formula. This is the formula. I am just deriving this formula. Standard deviation is equals to root sigma f d dash, that is this total of this column 912 divided by the total of this frequency, that is 110. I've written it here, minus the next step is sigma fd dash divided by n. So I've done this only total of this fd, that is 298 divided by n is again 110 to the whole square into 5. Simplify it. 912 divided by 110, 8.29, minus 298 divided by 110, whatever the value you get, into 2 if you do, 7.31 into 5. So if you minus these two values, 0.98, you should identify the root for this first. So you get 0.989 into 5. If you do it, you are getting 4.945, which is approximately 5. This is how you need to calculate the standard deviation if it is asked under step deviation method. Similarly, see, this question is asked for 6 marks in the year 2016, where they've just asked you to calculate standard deviation from the following. They've not mentioned you under step deviation, so I have assumed it to be a actual mean. They've given you the x values in the name of size. They've given you the frequency, total the frequency 221. So next, if it's just actual mean, the first step is identifying mean. Formula is x bar is equals to sigma fx divided by n. So I need to make f into x. So the next column is f into x. These two columns should be multiplied and you're getting the answers. With this total, I am deriving the value of mean, that is 10,855 divided by 221. The answer is 49.117, which is approximately 49. The immediate next column is identifying x. X is equals to x minus x bar. X bar I've already identified. So all these x values should be deducted from this 49. You are getting these values. Next column is multiplication, to the power of 2 of this column. You have to identify the square of these values, that is x square. I've done it here. You need to even write down the minus symbol here, as I told you in the last video. But whenever you're doing the square for this, the minus and minus becomes plus and you're getting all the positive answers. The next column is this f into x square. You're getting fx square. Total this fx square 49,756. The formula for standard deviation is root sigma fx square divided by n. I've identified fx square, that is 49,756 divided by n is 221. 225.14. The root for that is 15. So only these two possible methods under continuous series of standard deviation will be asked. If the question is silent, take it as actual mean, or they may ask you to solve under the standard deviation. So see, even in this question, they've asked you to identify standard deviation using step deviation method. Similarly with the first problem which I taught. Okay, now the next method is, I think I will continue the next method in the next video. Thank you. So what you should understand is we have completed standard deviation also.